Chapter 35, we began to understand the word to do, to just do it, or excuse me for the expression, just do it. The act of paramount importance, not your mindfulness, not your heart, but just do the mitzvah. In the very act of doing the mitzvah, the Beinani, and us here, BITs, Beinani in training, fulfill our purpose. What's our purpose? Our purpose is to engage our vital soul / animal soul and body that is naturally self-indulgent, self-fulfilling, self-directed. And we engage it in the mitzvah, in the act of the mitzvah. Because in the act of the mitzvah, you need your body to extend your hand to give charity, to wrap tefillin, to light Shabbos candles, to walk, to synagogue on Shabbos, and so on and so forth. It takes a body, and that body is likened to a wick of a candle. The candle, or the energy, is the oil, which are the good deeds and mitzvahs that we do, that flow through the wick, through the body, engage the body, which the body is getting vitality through the animal soul / vital soul, and doing the act. Because that's what a body can do. It can do an act of a mitzvah. And in that act, the body, which is the wick, you see the wick has got a little darkened on top, and when it comes darkened, right, that's when the flame takes on. That's when the light of God embraces us. When the body becomes not a body with its own agenda, not a body that is self-directed, but now it's God-directed because it's doing God's mitzvah. Whether it's doing it lovingly, whether it's doing it because it's forced, compelled, whatever the case may be, the fact is, in that act, you are now elevating that body and animal soul that has been given vitality through klipa. Klipa, the shell, nega, a transparent one that has good and bad in it, but it's not holy. But now in that moment, you made it holy. And now the flame of God, God's light, encompasses the individual in the act. And it's not just that act, but everything that leads to the act that allows you to do the act of the mitzvah. Like right now, our learning together. Our learning together. If you needed to have a coffee this morning so you could kind of be focused, or you needed to eat something so you would be focused, then that food and drink now becomes also elevated into the flame, the light that it creates of God that encompasses the individual, because it's all directed for the sake of the mitzvah, for the attachment that we have in the mitzvah. And by doing this, we change the world for good, because we're taking everything that's under the jurisdiction of klipas noiga, this admixture that could be used for good or for bad, right? But it's the fact that it's an admixture of good and bad means itself is not holy until we reveal its spark of God that's there and elevate it. We do that with the material world. We elevate the material world to eventually we create a reality that the entire world is filled with God's presence and evil is eradicated. That's the times of Mashiach. But the key to everything we've learned till this point is that it's got nothing to do with your feelings, has nothing to do with your mindfulness. It's about the act itself. Hence, when you'll go out in the street, which I do, or go to someone's business, or someone comes here or walks into the Chabad house, and I ask them to put on tefillin. Is their heart there? Do they have a real understanding and appreciation of the mitzvah? No. But they did the act. In that act, the divine presence embraces the individual in that very act. So it's very au contraire to, the spiritualists in us that feels that, without the spiritual quality, what's the act worth? No. The act is divine. But that's very unique. That's only in Tanya. Everywhere else, you will always get a sense that anything that you do needs to be accompanied with intent, with mindfulness, with heartfelt devotion. For without it, the act is meaningless. No, comes the Alter Rebbe in Tanya saying, it is an end in itself. It is very meaningful. It is divine. That's what we learned till now. Now comes today the Alter Rebbe and adds a new dimension here in chapter 38. Where in chapter 38, we're going to learn about kavana, intent, mindfulness, heartfelt connection. Says the Alter Rebbe, yet nevertheless, it states that prayer or any blessing without kavana, without intent, is like a body without a soul. What does this comparison mean? That the words of prayer to a body, and the kavana is the soul. What does it mean? Well, just like every creature that is created has a body and has a soul, everything. And we understand that in us. And maybe we even get that somewhat in the animal kingdom, but it's every living creature, right? Every living creature has the breath of life in it. God animates them. He's constantly creating something from nothing. He's giving his light and vitality, bestowing upon both the body and the soul. The body's a body and the soul's a soul. They're separate, right? And even more so, and even not more so, but even when it comes to inanimate objects like a stone, it's also got the vitality of God that's animating it. And if it were not for the light of God, for the word of God that animates it, then the stone, the animals, the human, their body, and their soul would revert to utter nothingness if God were to take away his light, his word, right? So in other words, both the soul and the body, let's take for the human being because that's easier to appreciate, right? Easier to appreciate, are both, right, animated, And when we're talking about the soul here, let's speak about the animal soul, right? Are both being created by God equally, in the sense that if God were to take away his word, his light, his life force, his vitality from the soul or from the body, cease to exist. Both of them equally. In a sense, no distinction, right? Nevertheless, despite the fact that the body and the soul are alike and that they contain the divine life force, right? That and its life force is what animates it. You can't compare the quality of the light, of the energy of the divine force of God as it is animating and giving existence and life to a soul as opposed to the body. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. Now, what that means, I have to wait for tomorrow's class because a statement was made. And we intuitively get that of course our soul is greater light of God that animates it, greater energy of God that is animating it than is my body. But to further understand and explain this and to understand that distinction, and from that distinction, we'll appreciate what it means doing a mitzvah, that even though the mitzvah might be done without real mindfulness and heartfelt connection, you still connect to God and create a light of God. But that light won't be compared to when you do it with mindfulness and a heartfelt intent. It'll be much more profound, greater light, which we get that intuitively. But to understand that more, to appreciate that, we will return tomorrow's class. Do you have any questions? Quite likely your questions will be answered in forthcoming classes. In the meantime, let's say hello to Brett in Pennsylvania, Margolazata in Poland, Clem is in Brisbane, Australia, Simcha in Florida, Liba and Davida in New York. John is with us in North Carolina. Daphne is in South Carolina, having a marvelous Monday. TJ is in Melbourne, Australia. Good evening. Jeff is in Michigan with us. Akoy is in Lima, Peru. Rabab is in Tangier, Morocco. And today, by the way, is Alyssa's birthday. And wish her happy birthday. It's her Gregorian calendar birthday and her Jewish birthday on the same day, 22nd of Adar, Sheni, 2nd Adar. And Mazel Tov. She's here every day, day in, day out. All the classes. Should be a year of bracha v'atzlacha, blessing and success. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Stan is with us in London, England. Boker tov to Heroic. Sandy in Michigan. Amy in Colorado. Nancy is joining us. Dana in Washington, if I recall. Mordechai in Massachusetts. Denise is in New Jersey. Zara in Malaysia. Ahmed in Egypt. Julia in Pennsylvania. Diane is in Arizona. Tamar is with us. Not certain where. Michael in England right now, I think. Still there, Michael. Who else is with us? Ron, welcome. Erica in Norway. In Oklahoma, we have with us Dina. Welcome. Janice, hello. All right, Jeff, thank you. We're gonna continue on this thought. We just teased. El Terebe teased us with it. David in Sacramento, California. Lorraine is with us in, if you remind me. And we have Devorah Chana in Pennsylvania. Tanya is with us. So look at that. Of course. Where else would she be? Moshe, Janice in Pittsburgh. Paula in Bakersfield, California. I think I got maybe everybody. We have Vilma with us. Rachel in South Carolina, Yenta Telebenta, Yehuda. Beautiful. Uh-huh. Now that I was looking, yes. All right, beautiful. All right, folks, come and join us for Rambam as we are still at the very beginning of learning Rambam. You can catch it on YouTube. By the way, whoever I'm making this request, so you can help us on our YouTube station as we're trying to get it monetized. And you can help by going to youtube.com/Tanya Rabbi. Watch anything and everything. And if you're watching something live, you watch it there. It will help us out. Okay? It will help us out. So if you can do that, that would be amazing. And if you're happy where you are and don't want to go elsewhere, that's also good. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zichron Kedoshim in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing, great day. Thank you.